Pyongyang is the capital city of North Korea. Many people know North Korea today as being a closed country, for being an isolated hermit-like kingdom who, under the reign of Kim Jong-un, rejects all types of Western influence and especially Christian influence. But did you know over 150 years ago, in the city of Pyongyang would be the site where the first Protestant missionary would put his foot on Korean soil? His name was Robert Jermain Thomas. He had a real zeal for the gospel ministry, and God had given him a knack for languages. He naturally had a desire to go to the mission field. God was leading him then to the field of China. After that, he would be married to a Miss Godfrey, and just a few weeks after their marriage, they would set sail from the shores of England to the mission field of Shanghai, China. It was not long after their arrival in Shanghai that the Thomases would soon face great tragedy. A few months after their arrival, Miss Thomas would die as a result of a miscarriage at childbirth. This would have a profound effect on Robert Jermain Thomas's life and actually lead him to resign from the London Missionary Society and go on to work as a customs officer in the city of Chifu. It was there, though, in that city of Chifu, that God would use Christian brethren to refresh him and strengthen him in his zeal for the Lord. While in the city of Chifu, working as a customs officer, God would allow his paths to cross with two Koreans who told him of the situation in Korea, and God used those conversations to give him a burden for the people of the Korean Peninsula. In 1866, the opportunity for Robert Thomas to finally visit the Korean Peninsula would come. He was asked to go along a ship called the General Sherman, an American ship, seeking to build ties of trading between the Koreans and the Americans, and he was asked to go along as a translator. However, Thomas had a very different agenda. His goal was to take as many Bibles as he could and get them into Korea. And so Thomas boarded the General Sherman with great aspirations of what God was going to do. After traveling upriver to the city of Pyongyang, the American ship was met with great opposition. The Koreans were rejecting any type of Western influence and demanded that the vessel turn around. After a few days, much fighting broke out. The General Sherman soon caught fire, killing many on board and forcing others, like Robert Jermain Thomas, to flee ship and come to the riverbank. There on the riverbank, he was greeted by Korean soldiers. He greeted them sopping wet with a Bible in his hands, and with the little bit of Korean he knew, he yelled out, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." One soldier stepped forward, and with one swoop of the sword, off with Robert Jermain Thomas's head. The Bible flew up into the air and fell down onto the riverbank. The soldier who beheaded Robert Jermain Thomas grabbed that Bible that was on the riverbank there and took it back to his house. He took the pages out of the Bible and used it and wallpapered his house with the pages of Scripture. That would have a great impact on the people of Korea. People would come from all over and read the Scriptures. We do know that he had a nephew who would come and read and be converted and would go on later to become one of the first pastors on the Korean Peninsula. All of this why? Because one man was willing to lay down his life so that others could hear.